Hello everyone, let us discuss about the miscellaneous drugs that are employed in the cancer therapy. Coming to the list of drugs, the first one is cisaentepase. The mechanism of action is it converts asparaginase to aspartic acid and ammonia, and it is mainly active against the tumor cells that have lost the capacity to synthesize the asparaginase and requires an endogenous source. Coming to the adverse effects, suppression of bone marrow, inflammation of the mucosa of GIT, hair follicles, nausea and vomiting, CNS depression, and liver damage may occur. The next drug is hydroxycarbamide. The mechanism of action is it inhibits ribonucleotide reductase and interferes with the conversion of ribonucleotide to deoxyribonucleotides. Coming to the uses, it is mainly used in polycythemia, rubella, chronic myelogenous leukemia, and sickle cell anemia. The adverse effects are bone marrow depression. The next drug is thalidomide. It shows effect on the gene transcription, angiogenesis, and proteasome function, and it is mainly employed to treat myeloma. Adverse effects are bone marrow depression, peripheral neuropathy, thrombosis, and stroke. The next drug is lenalidomide. It is a thalidomide derivative. The mechanism of action and uses are similar, but it has fewer adverse effects. Among them, bone marrow depression and neutropenia may occur. The next drug is bortezomib. It inhibits the cellular proteasome function, and the uses are myeloma. Coming to the other drugs, they are biological response modifiers. These agents, as the name indicates, they enhance the host response. Hence, they are called biological response modifier. Examples are interferon alpha. It is mainly employed to treat solid tumors and lymphomas. The next drug is aldesleukin. It is employed to treat renal tumors. The next one is tretinoin. It is a powerful inducer of differentiation in the leukemic cells, and it is mainly used in adjuvant to chemotherapy to induce the remission. These are some of the examples of biological response modifiers. Coming to the drugs which act during the cell cycle. Some drugs are cell cycle specific and some are not specific. Coming to the phase specific agents. During the mitosis, the Vinca alkaloids, they act on the M phase, and the drugs which act on S phase are cytarabine, hydroxycarbamide, fluorouracil, methotrexate, mercaptopurine, fludarabine, and gemcitabine and capcitabine. These are some of the drugs which are S phase specific. Coming to cell cycle specific agents, they are alkylating agents, cisplatin, dactinomycin, and doxorubicin. Coming to cell non-specific agent, that is cell cycle non-specific agents, these act on all cells whether they are in the cycle or not. Example are bleomycin and nitrosoureas. Coming to the control of emesis and myelosuppression. So the most common side effects of chemotherapy are nausea and vomiting and majorly bone marrow suppression. So in adjuvant to chemotherapy, drugs must be given which control the emesis and myelosuppression because they are the major adverse effects. Coming to the drugs which control emesis, they are 5-HT3 receptor antagonist. Example is ondansetron and granisetron. They are effective against cytotoxic drug-induced vomiting and cisplatin chemotherapy. The next drug is metoclopramide. It is combined with dexamethasone or lorazepam. It has the unwanted effects it has extrapyramidal side effects, and because of this, instead of metoclopramide, diphenhydramine is used. Coming to the control of myelosuppression. And what are the effects of myelosuppression? Because they cause myelosuppression, it limits the use of many anti-cancer drugs. Majority of the anti-cancer drugs, they cause myelosuppression. And removal of the patient's own bone marrow and replacing after cytotoxic therapy is an alternative in order to decrease or control the myelosuppression, and a protocol in which aliquots of stem cells harvested from the blood following administration of the growth factor, for example, molgramostim. Molgramostim, it is a recombinant granulocyte macrophage colony stimulating factor or simply growth factor, which functions as immunostimulator. Use of such growth factors has been useful in order to control the myelosuppression that is associated with chemotherapeutic agents. Coming to the future developments. What are the future developments in chemotherapy? The first one is angiogenesis and metalloproteinase inhibitors. As we all know, tumor cells cause generation of new blood vessels, that is nothing but angiogenesis. And one more additional factor is the tumor cells, they produce metalloproteinase and angiogenic factors. They facilitate the tumor growth and invasion of the normal tissue and metastasis occurs. For that reason, drugs which inhibit the metalloproteinases and angiogenesis are employed. Example of such drug is bevacizumab. It is a monoclonal antibody. Bevacizumab, it is an angiogenesis and metalloproteinase inhibitor. And the next category is cyclooxygenase inhibitor. The COX2, COX2 isoform is overexpressed in 85% of the cancers, and they activate the signaling pathway that enable the cells to escape from apoptotic cell, that escape from the normal cell death mechanism, that is apoptosis. And the example of cyclooxygenase inhibitor is celecoxib. It is a COX inhibitor. The next one are antisense oligonucleotides, synthetic sequences of single-stranded DNA complementary to specific coding regions of the mRNA. They can inhibit gene expression. So example of antisense oligonucleotides is augmerosin. And one more recent advantage of future development is gene therapy. Introduction of antisense oligonucleotide by gene therapy is an alternative. The next one is reversal of multi-drug resistance. Majority of the multi-drug resistance of anti-cancer drugs occurs due to P-glycoprotein. And several non-toxic drugs, for example verapamil, that inhibit the P-glycoprotein can reverse the multi-drug resistance that is associated with the chemotherapeutic agents. These are some of the future developments that are concerned with chemotherapy. Thank you.